Hello, and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of June 5th. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics, because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change, although we always end up with shows. I guess that's life.
Yes.
There's parenting in everything, especially in Brothers and Sisters season 2 and Ted Lasso season 3.
Yes.
We watched the finale.
We
and
did.
I guess no one knows if this is it forever and ever.
Right.
Or what.
They certainly set it up in such a way that it could continue without Ted.
Right.
But then we got that little, montage at the end that sort of was it continuing without Ted. So maybe we have enough even without. I would be fine either way.
And also, I really hope that montage was not supposed to be like a dream that Ted was having on the airplane.
No, we are going to say it's canon.
Okay.
Just amongst us.
Yeah.
But and if not,
because that was lovely, with the possible exception of the randomness of Danny Rojas having 2 girlfriends at the same time. What was that?
I'll let him have it, Catherine. If any one of those dudes deserves 2 girlfriends at the same time, it's Danny. It could be one for Danny and one for evil Danny. So
yes, there you go.
I would have loved this episode if only for the Richmond Greyhounds rendition of So Long Farewell.
Yes.
I would have loved it if only for the players finding parts of the Believe sign in their lockers and on their persons and assembling it like a jigsaw.
Right.
I would have loved it if just for Rebecca making good on her speech at the meeting by making the fans literal co-owners of the team.
Mm-hmm.
If just for that, I would have loved it. And, maybe even just for Barbara complaining about the lack of blood in football and appearing when she got some. What a weird little delight she has become as a character.
Yes.
I didn't need every second to be fulfilling every one of my dreams for this show. Just those things. I laughed out loud so hard at that musical number. It just, what a wonderful show this is.
And also their reaction to, after they pulled it off, their absolute delight and at their triumph and all the fans. And,
yes.
Yes.
This is so wonderful. This show has always been able to just pull off the unexpectedly glorious scene that just makes me laugh or cry or say, thank goodness for the wonder of television, to bring this into my life. And that is enough for me, honestly. I just delight me on a weekly basis, and we're good. By some unexpected scene. Make me laugh. Teach me a little something, maybe. Introduce me to something that I didn't know. Some people apparently were under the impression, Catherine, that this was a rom-com. Were you ever under that impression?
No, and I would have been super mad if they had done that, the fan service to the Ted and Rebecca shippers, because I am not one. I am not that fan, and that would not have serviced me. Right. Thank you very much.
Where did that even come from? I don't think it's been a thing all along, has it? Maybe it has been, but it seemed they've been coming on strong this season. Yeah. Sort of like, not only just, gee, I hope they get together, but they better get together or there will be rioting in the streets, has sort of been the feeling. And it's like, no, they're friends.
I will riot if that happens.
They're employer-employee. Why? There has never been any romantic chemistry between them. There's been just glorious and enjoyable friend chemistry between them. Right. What is wrong with friend chemistry? Why can't we just have friend chemistry?
Yes, please.
Why does it need to be, there's a male lead in this show and there's a female lead in this show, so they better get them together? Mm-hmm. No, we don't want that. Most of us do not want that. There is a very vocal minority that does, but I do not. Now, on the other hand, do I think that the opening scene of this finale was unnecessarily cruel to people who wanted that? Yes, I do. There is no way to justify that scene other than let's make them think they're getting what they want and then hit them on the head with a blunt object. That seems
or with Beard in a thong.
Yes, exactly. The fact that Beard and Jane are the endgame couple of this series is making people's heads explode. But, you know, why the heck not?
Yep.
That weirdo could find his soulmate is a fitting end for this
right
often unlikely show.
He had to go all the way to England to do it, but he did it.
I don't know. And, you know, we thought that maybe Roy and Keeley were going to get back together, or was Keeley going to get back with Jamie? And in the end, Keeley doesn't get with anybody that we know of, and they just are friends. Again, celebrating friendship. They make a nice friendship threesome. And I personally have been shipping Roy and the school teacher, so I am good with that. I'm in my head. That's what's going to happen. And I don't know, Jamie and Barbara would be an interesting couple. I think they could make some. So I'm just going to go ahead and imagine the two of them getting drunk one night in a pub and having a weird little romance.
Okay.
Just because we have to match up who's available, right? But,
right.
You know, it's one of those. It's corny to say, like, it's about the journey and not the destination. That always seemed the case with the show. It's just this guy comes and sort of sets people on a path that leads them to having better lives, you know? A losing team becomes a winning team. A woman who's operating out of anger and bitterness becomes happy and self-confident and magnanimous. And, you know, an angry guy becomes somebody who wants to go to a therapist and be a better person. And, you know, a guy who's self-centered and obnoxious becomes a generous teammate. It's like he didn't specifically walk each of them by hand down that road. He just sort of gave them a little push. Just by his presence, by Ted's presence, this stuff started to go into motion. And it's heartwarming and lovely. And I liked the way it ended very much. And the fact that Ted was like fading out more and more over this past season to the point where he didn't talk very much in this finale. Was he even in it? He's just fading back. And they're going on with their lives in a much more positive direction. Except for Rupert, who apparently is the only person who doesn't get redemption. Jamie's abusive father? Yes. Rupert? Nah. He's a wanker. He's chanted off the field. I feel a little bad about that because that story Rebecca told of him as a kid, and then he came back, he made a lot of money, and he bought the team, and then she took the team away from him, and then he built up another team, and now it's, you know, probably going to be taken away from him, and he couldn't have got a little something somewhere indicating that he too was on the road to a better life. I guess we should be glad that Bex didn't boop him off a cliff, but
well, and Rebecca even said to him before the game, like, either way, a team you love wins. Right. Like, she's like pointing the path out to him, you know, like you can follow this path if you want.
Yeah.
But apparently, no, he does not want.
No redemption for him. He just remains evil. I would have felt better about him if he had been nasty to her at that meeting. But that little chink of vulnerability makes me feel bad that he didn't get at least a glimmer of, well, he's still evil, but he's on his way to something else. Right. You know, he's on his way to his fortress of solitude to scheme more evil by the look of it. But I also thought we might get some backstory as to why Nate quit, but I really don't care. I enjoyed having him back. And I'm an easy-to-please fan, apparently. I thought it was just fine.
Yeah, I mean, I still feel like we missed a whole chunk of the Nate story. Yes, you know, did. I mean, they never really explained why Jade wants to be with him, or you know, or what is appealing
Maybe
about her.
Maybe he's got some skills we don't know about. You know, just leave it at that.
You know, the turn from his dad was like a complete 180. why the team decided they wanted him back, like, just on and on. You know, you had to, like, just let a lot of that wash over you.
Yes. Yeah. I don't care because I hated the fact that he left in the first place. So however you want to undo it, I don't need to see it. Just do it. Just get it done. And that's fine with me. It's a sitcom. I don't need necessarily to have all the T's crossed and the I's dotted. But I did think we would get a little speech or something. But, I'll read Trent's book. He'll have all the details. Surely they are going to publish that, right? Surely there will be a product in bookstores for that.
Yeah, they sure made it look like a real book. Although, you know, as people in the industry or adjacent to it, Trent just shows up with a manuscript. Like, I guess all of his days have been hanging around the facility, and then at night he goes back and writes it all down and in a complete version, like, ready to share.
I don't think any of this is how any of this works, so I will allow it. You know, probably football doesn't work that way either, but just the thing that we know, I don't know.
Yes.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everything is fine. Yeah, you know, I went on Twitter to see what the reaction was, and like 75% of the posts I saw loved it and were so happy and were sharing scenes that they loved. 25% of the posts were ticked that they had been led astray by all these clues that were pointing them to Ted and Rebecca getting together. All these clues that were out there. What did this mean then, if not for that? And just people who were just outraged. And then there were people saying, well, I see everybody hated the finale. And it's like, no. Most of us liked it. There was just these people who were led astray by their own cleverness. It makes me think of when I was in college, I was in a writing class, and we read our stories out loud. So I had to have, I was late for class or running late. I finished my story and I just slapped a title on it off the top of my head. And then I read my story in class, and the professor, whose opinion I valued very much, he was a good writer himself, talked about how meaningful the title was, and how, look how this title, it reflects this in the story and that in the story and all the different facets. And I was going, wow, I sure wish I had intended all of that. Yeah, absolutely. So I think of that when people see things and they go, this is what this, look, they put this here to show me something, and this means something.
Right.
Sometimes no. Sometimes it's just you, babe. I'm sorry.
Yes.
And I felt that way with Lost, too, which just had a whole cottage industry of people finding the clues and explaining what they meant. And then at the end, none of that was in play whatsoever. And they were so mad. But, you know, sometimes it's only meaningful to you.
Right.
Only because you want it. You have to want it. I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed this finale. I enjoyed this season. I wish the episodes had been shorter.
Yes.
There was a lot. There was a lot of stuff. But, you know, I've read books that I thought were longer than they need to be, but didn't mean I don't like the book. So
right, there's a lot of bloat out there in the world.
There is. So I have not read Alan Sepinwall's review of the finale because I could tell it's not good, and I just don't.
Yeah, you may not. You may prefer to avoid that.
I intend to, but one thing I've heard that he has said is that Bill Lawrence was not as involved in this season because he was doing Shrinking, I assume.
Yep.
And that maybe have been why it was somewhat less disciplined than previous seasons.
Yes.
Because I kept thinking, this guy knows how to make a good half hour of television. What the heck is going on here? And maybe it's because he wasn't there saying, really, this is too long.
Right.
But he has also been defending it staunchly on Twitter, so...
as he
like it's they
should.
took it from him and did what he wanted, whatever they wanted to do with it. He's, in.
Yeah.
So, it's fine. I intend to watch it again. I think it's the characters are really special that they made, and I think what they did with them was inspiring and uplifting and funny and great.
Yeah, as soon as it was over, I wished I had time to just start over and watch it again.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I will do that at some point.
Yeah, I'm on my third watch of Shrinking, but that's only 8 episodes, so it's or 8 or 10 or something. It's just one season, so it's a much easier. And they're short. They're shorter episodes.
They are short. Yeah.
So,
no, I meant the just the finale.
Oh, just the finale. Yes.
Yes. But yes, and then I would like to go back to day one and go through it.
I do want to watch the finale again. Just such lovely set pieces there, in addition to whatever else.
Right.
I laughed so loud when they started singing. I thought somebody in my home would run to make sure I was all right. And I clapped when they won the game.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I spent the whole game trying to predict what they were going to do because, in so many other episodes when they've had a game, you know, it's not gone the way I thought it might, or it's like they ended in a tie or whatever.
That's right.
So, yeah, I thought this, the way that they won the game, come from behind, triumphant.
Yes.
But then they didn't win the whole season because Man City also won.
Yes.
That was a good touch.
I was very glad they won the game. And Jamie, doing his acting thing, give me the ball, here I am. It's so fun.
This is an Oscar. It's heavy.
Oh, just so fun. Boy, I don't remember. I'm curious to go back and watch the season to see if the team members were so distinct then. Because they seem to really, I feel like, have developed them over these 3 seasons till you just know and love every one of them.
Especially, I think, this 3rd season.
Yes. Which is fine. That's the shipping I want. I want to just love on these players. They're so great. The actors, when given the opportunity to step out from the bunch and have a character, have hit it out of the park.
Right. Absolutely.
Ted Lasso, thanks for the personal development. It's very enjoyable.
It was.
And I have the distinct feeling that his wife's boyfriend is...
No more.
No more.
Yes.
Don't sit back and make snide remarks about the game when your girlfriend and her son are super into it. Come on, man. This is a guy who is a marriage counselor and he doesn't know that. Come on, man.
Pick up what she's putting down, please. Or don't, because I'm fine if you're kicked to the curb.
Right. And if he's going to get kicked to the curb, that is a good way to make that happen. I like that. I liked that she was so into the game.
Right.
So. Anyway, Ted Lasso, we salute you.
Yes.
If you wish to come back in whatever form, we will watch.
We will watch.
Any configuration of people from that show want to carry their characters over to something else, we're there.
Yeah, let's just have Barbara.
That was a character that was so annoying at the beginning, and she just became like a reliable joke machine by the end. She's like the Ted McGinley of this show, just popping up to say something hilarious and then going away.
Or eat an apple.
What fun. That actress understood the assignment exactly.
Yes. Well, Terry.
Considerably less fun.
Yes.
Was Brothers and Sisters. They could have used a musical number. You know
detox.
what? When Justin was detoxing, his family could have sang something meaningful and done a little dance. But no. They don't care about us.
No, they did not provide that for us, I'm afraid.
Darn.
So this episode was called 36 Hours, and I guess the 36 hours was referring to the period where Justin was detoxing.
Yes. Home detox at home, with the walkers. Yay.
Yeah, which is really medically not advised, which they had to cover their butts by having the doctor on the phone saying, you should not do this. But if you're going to, here's what to do.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, man. But...
So we had that going down, and the intervention that they threw together in an hour, I guess.
Yeah. Well, they're all on call when a sibling has a crisis because it happens.
Yeah, except
all
for
the damn
Tommy.
time. Is there like a bat phone for the wall? Do they like shine something up into the sky for the walkers to assemble? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, except for Tommy.
He was busy.
Yeah, so now
getting busy.
Yep, his secret is out, and I'm sure that Kevin and Uncle Saul can be trusted to keep it under their hats, and nobody will ever know.
Yes.
Well, actually, Saul already told Kevin. Mm-hmm. Kevin, being a lawyer and a circumspect fellow, will never think to mention it to anybody else.
No,
How is
never.
it not on the news already? Tommy, what the heck, man?
That sure didn't take long.
Yeah, I mean, anybody in this family has to stop and think before they do anything they wouldn't want anybody to know about. How am I going to keep a secret with my family? And then just don't do it.
Yeah, because you won't.
This woman is hot and I'm lonely, but you know what? Somebody's going to find out and then everybody's going to know. And then my life will be bad. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Can't even really trust Holly with a secret, but certainly not your family.
Yeah.
It's just all stupid plot development that has nothing to do with anything, so.
Right.
It's agenda-driven plot development, I think.
Yeah.
So, stupid and not true to anything we've seen of him in the past, but okay.
And then we got Robert deciding to fire half of his staff, or almost all of his staff, except for Travis. He lives to entertain you.
Travis being the only one whose name we actually know.
Right.
Yeah, he lives to entertain me. I enjoy Travis. But do we believe that Robert is the most ambitious man you will ever meet?
I mean, he'd certainly, if you're going to be a politician, that is pretty much a prerequisite, right?
That is true. But then it makes everything else he says sound insincere when he tells Kitty, you're the most important thing to me. And of course, we can get married right now and try for a baby that I don't want. Absolutely.
Right.
And he's
that I just promised my daughter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if he's really the most ambitious man you will ever meet, he's lying to her, which makes us not like him. But we're supposed to like him because it's Rob Lowe. Mm-hmm. Look how handsome he is.
And so principled, because he fired everybody because they let him get in bed with this pork king. So,
yeah, they're all over the place with him. Mm-hmm. But we're allowed to ship Robert and Kitty because they're obviously gonna get together. But this is confusing.
Yeah, it is.
But we don't care so much. It'll all work out. Mm-hmm. Everything will work out.
Yes. What else happened on this episode?
It was really pretty focused on
the detox situation. Yes. Well, but Saul.
Oh, Saul.
Saul did finally tell Nora what's been up with him for the last 45 years.
But apparently 45 years ago, but not necessarily the last 45 years.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, he was man 45 years ago. We don't necessarily know what he's been doing in between.
Right.
Pretending to date women.
And then he was like not going to give Kevin the satisfaction of telling him that he was right. Because when Kevin came in, Saul was like, I'm out. Bye. So, in case you thought he was going to tell Kevin, no. But we know it'll be on billboards along the highway shortly.
Yes. It's been told to one walker, so it's more or less public knowledge now.
Yes.
It's not gonna be a secret for long. No. So, they looked around for another plot line for Ron Rifkin and couldn't find one. So it's like, okay, we're going to go with this one. He's got to have some lines,
That's right.
Probably it's in his contract.
Probably. And also, I've already forgot his name, but the Rob Lowe's character's brother, who's in Malaysia.
Is that Jason?
Jason, yeah. seems trouble in paradise there.
Yes. Generally going off somewhere and being unable to be contacted, not the best thing for a relationship. See also Tommy and Julia.
Right.
So, bad plan. If you're in love with a walker and you're going to cut them off from all communication, you're pretty much done.
Right.
These are people who need to talk.
They need to talk.
They need to talk constantly. Come on.
The time.
You cut them off, it's like you're cutting off their blood supply.
Yeah. They can't function whatsoever.
They will find other people to talk to.
Yep. Like Scotty.
So, conveniently
available. But I'm fine. I like Scotty. Keep Scotty around.
Right. Much happier about Kevin and Scotty than I am about Tommy and Lena. But,
yes.
Different.
Yes.
Situations there.
Right.
Kevin and Jason was a relatively new thing when he ran off to no place. And whereas Tommy is married and has a child. So cut it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But there are parallels, which I had not thought about. So
yeah,
it was interesting to have them comparing notes.
To actually talk about it, yeah.
Yeah. This is what happens when when people don't talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
How can we expect
for minutes?
That's right.
This is the result.
Oh well.
So
yeah, do not really so much care about Jason. Although I did when I was watching it the first time. I was really hoping he would come back.
He would come back.
But it is becoming clear that probably not going to be the case.
Right.
At least briefly. However, Danny Glover, who was in last week's episode, I find does come back many times this season.
Oh,
he's in like
interesting.
six or eight episodes this season. So,
oh, okay.
If you interpret this to mean there will be trouble in Robert's campaign that needs a fixin', that's probably a good guess.
Okay. Well,
but maybe he just comes back to date Nora. You never know. Could be.
Oh.
Could be coming back for, all sorts of reasons.
Yeah. Well, that would be interesting.
Unrelated to his career. Fixing political campaigns, of which there is one on this show. But
all right.
Do we think Nora will stick on her not preparing food for Justin? I think if he waits 5 minutes, he'll probably get his eggs.
Be like... After we're done sitting here by the pool for 5 more minutes, then will you make me some eggs?
Yeah. I don't see her keeping up on that, but nice try, lady.
Right.
Nice try.
Yes.
Well, so what do we have up next? We have to pick a new show.
Yes. So, well, Brothers and Sisters, we got a lot of that left. So the next one is season 2, episode 8, Something New.
Oh.
And then Something New for Us will be...
You're going to keep a secret? That would be something.
Yeah. Yes, and the Something New we are going to try is called Primo. It's a new comedy, and it's on Amazon Freevee. Hey. So apparently that means you can watch it on Amazon even if you don't have a Prime membership, but you will have to watch ads.
No,
not that. Yes. And it is a, quote, coming-of-age comedy, end quote, about a teen boy in Texas who is being raised by his mom and her 5 brothers. So, again, brothers and sister, this is this show. And the executive producer is Michael Schur.
Okay.
So that's why, it's
heard of him.
Possibly up our alley.
Yes.
And so I thought these are half an hour. I mean, they're less. They're like 20 some minutes, but I assume they're half an hour with commercials. So I thought we could watch 2 of them.
Okay.
At a time.
And it would still be shorter than one episode of Ted Lasso.
Exactly. And there's only 8 altogether.
Okay.
So
all right.
The first 2 are called Big Eyes and The Cookout.
All right.
I anticipate it taking at least 2 episodes for me to sort out all the brothers, but from what I've heard, they're pretty good about making each one his own person so that you can tell them apart
from the rest.
Yes. Because it did take me several episodes of brothers and sisters before I figured out who was who.
Ah.
I had to have a cheat sheet.
That's right. Yeah, that'll be a good idea, at least to assign the right name to the right individual.
Yes.
So, all right.
Yeah. So we'll look forward to that for next time.
Yes.
And that's going to be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Catherine.
Goodbye, everyone.